Hey everyone, my name is April. I'm one half of A Quart of Crochet. However, you're probably gonna see my face a little bit more on here because I have the camera. Anyways, I have another channel. I'm a booktuber and I mainly talk about fantasy romance books on there. However, since this is a crochet book, I wanted to put it on my crochet channel. Anyways, I recently got this book. It's called Fantasy Creatures and it's from Atomic Crochet. And I have been on an absolute mission to do all 28 patterns in this book. That was my goal. Did I achieve that? No, but I've done enough of them and I think I have a really good idea and a really good grasp of this book, and I think I'm ready to review it anyways. I'm still gonna finish all 28 patterns, but I'm gonna need more yarn to do it. So in the meantime, let me tell you my thoughts about this book. And let me show you what I made from it. So right away, my feelings on the book is that the beginning of the book is very detailed and gives you all of the things that you may need. Of course, it has really good beginner details, shows you step-by-step processes of how to do certain stitches, the more advanced ones, of course. Occasionally, you will come across a QR code for stitches or rounds that are a little bit more difficult to explain, and I love that she gives you that video as well. I really didn't have any problems with any of the patterns. I probably am more of an intermediate crocheter. I just started in December, but you know, here we are 8 months later. I feel like I'm doing pretty good. And I didn't really have any problem with any of the patterns. There was only one, and I'll talk about that specifically when I get to that plushie. But for the most part, all of these patterns are easy to read. They go from beginner to probably more intermediate advanced stages. This Kraken, probably a more difficult one. I didn't get to the larger plushies like the mamas in this, but I really want to, and that's only because I didn't have the yarn colors for it. But everything else, you're gonna get more of like a medium-sized plushie, and I think they all turn out really adorable. Let me show you the first ones that I made. Right away, this one is from the cover. It's the Griffin, and he turns out so cute. All of the parts on here you do have to sew, so if you're afraid of sewing, maybe not the book for you, but if you don't mind sewing like I do, I don't mind it at all. Honestly, this book is really adorable. This is about the size of them. I would say they're like palm sized. Of course, the book recommends Parfait Chunky, but you can use any size yarn, but I had a lot of Parfait Chunky. I wanted to use it, so that's what I used as well, and they come out like this. I did do one plushie in blanket yarn. I'll show you that when I get there. The ears are done in a way that I think is really easy. A lot of the times in these patterns, you're gonna be going around a chain when it's not a circle, like a magic circle. So knowing how to go around in a chain, like say chain 5, and then you stitch on this side and then stitch on the other side. If you can get that down, you'll be good for a lot of this. And yeah, I think he turned out really cute. This is also the first time that I've used more than like 2 colors in the pattern. So I think this one has 3. And everything was very easy to follow, and I love it. I did not do his little pot of gold though. I probably should have, but he's really cute. I would say for me, this would be a $20 to $25 plushie just based on the size. Based on how long it took me, it probably took me 2 hours. 2 hours. So yeah, should I charge more? Probably, but I just don't think I would pay more than that. But if I made him bigger with blanket yarn, he'd probably be in the 30 to 40 range. This is the cockatrice, which is actually a mythical creature that's a chicken, a rooster, and a dragon. And in the book, the dragon wings and stuff are made with blue color, but I didn't have a blue color, so I just used brown. I figure chickens are brown, okay? Chickens are brown. Anyways, with this one, clearly these pieces are all separate and sewn on. You do the bobble, it's just a bobble stitch for the nose, and you also do bobble stitches for his comb right here. He's really cute, and he was a more unique character that not a really well-known mythical creature for me anyways, as someone who loves mythical creatures, but I thought he was really cute, and I wanted to make him a little sad, so I gave him little eyelids here on this one. that is one thing I will say with this book, is that one of my criticisms is, I feel, well, it's not really a criticism, I should say, but like the faces are very basic. The faces are a little bit basic. You're not going to get a lot of emotion from them, I don't think, but that is something to me for the crocheter to add their own personality on. I feel like she gives you a lot of the basics. She tells you how to do the basic stitches. She gives you a lot of leeway to do more with it. This could be so many different colorways, and then again, you do the face however you want to. That's kind of how I see it. All of these plushie probably took me an hour to 2 hours to complete over, you know, as I sit there in bed listening to my audiobook every day. But anyways, I felt like he was super cute and sweet. Another two from the beginning of the book, and one is not complete yet, I will say, but you have the owl bear. This guy is like so freaking cute. So freaking cute. I die. I made him a little angry. And then also Mothman. Now Mothman is not really complete because in the pattern it has fur around his neck. These are technically supposed to be furry as well, but I just did it in regular basic black. But I haven't finished because I don't have fur for his neck, so that's why he's not quite finished. In fact, I still have a stitch marker in here. But that's okay. Anyways, these two are also from the beginning of the book. Very, very basic patterns. I love them all. I put custom eyes on all of them. For the owl bear, something that was really difficult for me to understand was the placement of these hands. I wouldn't say it's not explained well, but it's probably one thing that I was like, wait a second, what do I do here? So just trying to figure out like where this one goes on what end and at what point it goes on. I guess it was something that I couldn't figure out. So I'm not gonna say it wasn't explained well, I just couldn't figure it out for some reason. But again, they are palm sized, really cute. I love this freaking owl bear so much. And then I also really love the wings on the Mothman. The way the wings were done, I think they turned out so cool. The pattern does have a picture of like a moth woman as like a pink one. And I think that's such a cute idea. I honestly think you could do these in any colors. I mean, they're mythical creatures, so you can just, the sky's the limit with the creativity here. And they do end up really cute. And again, these are another couple patterns that are honestly were so easy to make. The book has different sections in it. So these plushies are all from the Fabled Flyers section. And the one that I did in blanket yarn is the alien. The alien is throwing up a peace sign. He turned out quite a bit larger. This is him next to my head. But this pattern was probably one of the easiest of the bunch. He is adorable. I loved him. The only problem I had was actually more with the safety eyes going through this blanket yarn, which is why I don't tend to use blanket yarn. But this pattern would be so cute on somebody's desk, like who loves just aliens and stuff. Like I would want him on my bookshelf in my alien section. Like he would be so cute. And I would make him smaller, honestly, so he'd fit on my bookshelf. But he also is just super cute, like in blanket yarn. Well, he's also very squishy. Yeah, I had no problems at all with this pattern. I think this is also one where there's a video of how to do his little fingers. So super cool. I don't know what else to say about this pattern other than freaking love this little alien. I want to put like little sunglasses on him or something. He seems like a sunglass wearing alien. You know what I mean? The next section is kind of like the sea creature section. It's called Storied Scales. The first one I did from this one, which I was like, ever since I saw Atomic Crochet's Instagram, I had to do this one. Like this was probably the picture that stood out the most for me, and it is the Kelpie pattern, and I did mine. He's a little like a seahorse, but also like a dragon, but a seahorse, like a horse with a dragon tail or a mermaid tail. I don't know what you call it, but anyways, he's a Kelpie. This was so fun. The hair on here probably was the most difficult part for me because I couldn't figure out, like, do I hold it like horizontally? Do I hold it vertically? I don't think that is specifically called out in the pattern, and if it was, I misread it. Also, I put the tail going up, but I think the tail is actually supposed to be going this way. You know what? It's my plushie. I'll do what I want. This is another one where I added eye detail on it just because I feel like this one, the face is a little plain. I did do some shaping as well. I feel like it would benefit from some bobble stitch nostrils maybe when you're doing the pattern. That's just my 2 cents. Just to give it a little bit more detail, this again was a very easy pattern. These hooves, fins, were an interesting way to do things. Specifically this one, you can see that there's a flat point, but this point is different. So it was just an interesting way to do it. I felt like it was really cool. These are 2 separate pieces. You make this whole thing one piece, and then this is a separate piece, and you sew it together. Again, lots of sewing in these patterns. So if you're a little sew shy, maybe not for you, but again, if you can get over it, you can make such adorably cute patterns. The Loch Ness Monster and the sea creature are very similar to this pattern, and I did not make them because of that. Again, I was running out of yarn as well. So the Loch Ness Monster just has different fins on it. And then the sea creature as well. They just have 2 different style fins, but the body style is very, very similar. So that's why I didn't end up doing those, but I think she's super cute. She's one of my favorites. This one's probably my favorite of the whole book, to be quite honest. Like, and it also gave me the most trouble. But I freaking adore it. And it just, I don't know, it makes me squeal. Like, it legit makes me squeal. It's the mermaid pattern. She has little space buns up here. So I love, like, her hairdo is just different than other mermaids that I've seen. And then this whole body style is so cute. What I had a hard time with is such a dumb mistake, honestly, because she gives you how she's gonna, you know, she gives you the glossary in the beginning of how each stitch is going to be said in the pattern. So it's just a reading fail on my part. But I actually did end up reaching out to Atomic Crochet. And what happened is these little things, I was misreading the line and I could not get to the stitch count for the life of me. And it said 3 space single crochet increases. Space increases. So to me that was like 3 single crochets and then an increase and then do that several times. That's no, you need to do 3 single crochets in 1 stitch. That's what you need to do right here. And I actually ended up reaching out to Atomic Crochet. She doesn't know me. She has no idea who I am. But she responded to me and she was very kind. She helped me figure out that part of the pattern and I was like, oh, it's just a reading fail. I know it now. But she was like, let me know if you don't get it. I can do a video, because that's what I asked her for. I was like, do you have a video of this part? And she doesn't. But she was very responsive and very kind, and it was so nice to like actually be able to reach out to someone for help on this and get some feedback. But anyways, this whole pattern, to die for. She's probably gonna end up being like more $25, maybe even $30 for me. Again, I live in a low cost of living area, so I try not to go crazy with my prices, but I would make this again in a heartbeat in so many different colors. I'm thinking glitter yarn. I am thinking tie-dye yarn. I am thinking so many different things. Like, she just inspires me a lot. I also love the eye detail that I gave her. I think it suits her very well. I did do whites a little bit and then black obviously for her eyelashes. But anyways, she's like one of my favorites for sure. I will be very sad when she sells. Another one very similar is the Cacalia. This one and Katie the Kraken have very similar, you know, they use the same tentacle style on these two. And it is probably it's gonna be one of your most hated patterns, but at the same time, look how it turns out. Like, these are tentacles. These are tentacles. They are gorgeous, gorgeous. I really wanted to make, obviously, Ursula. Like, this is an Ursula pattern. Give her gray skin and like gray hair or whatever, and a black dress with purple underneath. I don't know, like it would have been cool, but I didn't have the yarn color, so we made her a queen instead. Okay, she's the queen. She's the queen of the sea. How you do these is very fun. Obviously you do the tentacle a normal way that you would probably do most tentacles, but then to do this other color, you actually fold it in half and do another round. And it's very, very interesting. It's very, very time consuming. So definitely don't expect this to be a fast pattern. Everything else is pretty basic, I feel like. Even the face I had to add detail again because I felt like the face was just a little flat. But everything else can be so gorgeous. Again, you can do so many things with this. I probably would also do a little gemstone for her crown. You know what I mean? Like she's a queen. She needs some gemstones. She is just so cute. With the Kraken, and this could be the yarn choice here. I honestly thought this pattern might be a little bit bigger, and maybe that's just my fault. I really wanted to do something darker and more sinister because I definitely wanted the evil eyes, and I chose these gold eyes for the Kraken. I thought it really made this blue color pop, but I went ahead and used this dark navy color and black, and again the tentacles are just perfect. This Kraken, he's definitely shelf size. Like, I want him on my bookshelf. In fact, I'll probably put him on my bookshelf and take some photos of him that way. I definitely will do all of these patterns again. I think they are so fun. Fun enough to where you could change it up with different colors and different everything, that you would do them more than once. I actually kind of messed up on this fin here, but you can't really tell, can you? And again, that's just because I did it wrong. It wasn't because the pattern was difficult. It was just I did it wrong. But anyways, he turned out so good. I love him so much. Maybe mine's not Katie the Kraken. Maybe mine's Kevin. I don't know. And then the Fantastical Furry Friends, I actually only got to 2 of the patterns. There's 4 in this section. I'm working on the 3rd one, but I got Yuri the Yeti done, which is another one of my favorite patterns. And I got the werewolf done. The werewolf in the pattern shows him as a gray werewolf. I didn't have gray, so I did a brown werewolf, and you know what? I think it was fine. But I'm obsessed with this Yeti pattern. I love Yetis. I've made a different Yeti before. Kind of a similar pattern, honestly. But this one's a lot bigger, and so I definitely want to stick with this pattern over the other one. Again, the Yeti can also be a Bigfoot. You just have different coloring and don't put the horns. Like he's a great little cute pattern. I again just think he would be such a cute little shelf guy. Like, he's so adorable and squishy and like snuggly. This one too, super soft. I love the werewolf. I love the way the toes are done on these. These are probably my favorite feet to do, with the bobble stitches for the toes. And then I did end up giving him a little like safety nose. But yeah, Yuri the Yeti here. He's a beginner pattern, but at the same time, like, as a beginner, if you made this, people would be impressed. You know what I mean? Like, making the legs and sewing them on as one pattern is not super easy, but the whole pattern as a whole is pretty basic, so I think it's easy for a beginner to grasp. So I don't know, I loved this guy. I think he's cute. And then I didn't do the kitsune from that one yet because I'm waiting on orange. I don't have orange. And then oh, I'm doing the bastet right now. I'm still working on that one. That one's gonna go to a friend, but the bastet, it's the Egyptian cat. I can't wait to do it. I'm using the same dark navy blue yarn, and that yarn is like super soft. Again, all the yarn is Premier Parfait Chunky. And then the last 3 plushies that I did were from the, what's it called? Enchanted Forest Dwellers. I didn't do the jackalope. The jackalope from this one I didn't do yet, again, because I don't have gray. But I did do the little mushroom guy. He has a little pouch that you can put something in. It would be very tiny, maybe a couple quarters, but he's just a little adventurer mushroom guy. The pattern again has it with like a red top, but I just wanted to do something different. I have a lot of this tones of colors of browns and everything, so that's why you're seeing a lot of browns. My friends chose his eyes. My friends are like, give him blue, striking blue eyes. So I did. There's not really a nose, and there's not really any type of eyebrows or anything. This head is just a circle. It's just a circle with some eyes in it. So that's kind of what I mean by the faces being kind of basic. But these are all details that you as a crocheter have the liberty to create yourself. So I kind of like that it's more of a basic pattern, and then you can make it more if you want to. I probably won't on this guy, but I have on some of the other ones. Just because I think he's okay without it. I think he's cute. He's cute. I don't think he needs it. I don't think he needs a nose. He's a mushroom, for God's sakes. And then we have the goblin. Again, he's another no-noser. And I probably will end up giving him a nose. I just ran out of this green. This is what I used the last time I green on. And I love this little goblin. I think he's cute. I made him like a little sad boy goblin. And he is, again, very palm-sized. They all end up being the similar sizes. And it's just adorable, adorable. My favorite though from this section is definitely Olaf the orc. And I made my orc angry, but I actually did this wrong. I was supposed to go this way, I think, and I went that way. And so this sash is actually supposed to be on this side. But does it matter? Can you tell? I can't. But again, this was another fun pattern. I love his little booties. I feel like I could put like a little staff with him and he'd be such a cute little warrior orc. When do you get an orc from other patterns? You don't. Like, I haven't seen an orc yet. I love his little teeth detail. He has like a little lip. I will say I think this lip would be cute as like on Yuri the Yeti. I've seen that in other patterns though, so I don't think she would want to copy other people, but I do like this little lip that they have. And yeah, he's just one of my favorites. His hands also have like a little bobble stitch here for the thumb. So super easy pattern. And then you just have the color changes. A lot of the color changes use a regular standard color change like this. In some of the other patterns like the bastet I'm using now, I am using the jogless join stitch instead. I think that'll work out, but some of these patterns with the mermaid pattern and everything like that, it's hidden in the back or it's hidden under one of these stitches where you go up crosses it, so you can't really tell that much. Specifically like the booties, I didn't do any jogless join for the booties, but because you have this extra layer here that you sew on afterwards, it hides the change. So these are definitely ones that you can do. Anyways, he's cute. The back of the book has this section that is so cool where you can build your own creature. In the examples here she has like she made a wizard using some of the other parts of the patterns, and then also Medusa. I 100% need to do a Medusa. But you get like this section where you can do the different body parts and mix and match them, and then you just find those body parts and sew them on again. That's how you see the Bigfoot. And then she has like a merc hat using the bastet pattern and the mermaid pattern together. I think that is such a cool idea. It just is like sky's the limit, and you could really pull out your creativity for it. I think it is so cool. This Medusa I'm dying to do, but I'm gonna make mine gray, which I need to get gray, and some other colors. But I think it would be so cool and so different on your, like, if you do markets or something, or even if you're just making these for a friend, they would be cute. She has a wyvern pattern on here. And then the mama section includes a mama and a baby, and these are going to be a little bit bigger, but I didn't do these. I didn't do those ones. I didn't have the colors for it. But anyways, if you can't tell, this is a rave review of this book. It's so good. Everything is well done in it. It was very well written. But yeah, these are just like so cute. They're all my favorite patterns. Like, as a fantasy lover and a fantasy creature lover, I feel like this is a must-have book. Like, I really do. I feel like it's a must-have book if you want to make fantasy creatures. So I made all these plushies. Now what do I do with them? I am actually going to be having my first ever show on Whatnot. Whatnot is an online selling platform. Many people buy many things. My sister is actually already using it to sell used books. A lot of people love to use books on there, and we're huge readers, so I figured this would be a good spot to try and show them my plushies. I've already actually sold a few on Whatnot, so it's time for me to have my own first show. I will have a link to that in the description box below. Also, the sign up link, there is a sign up link down below. I think if you sign up, you get some kind of a credit. I want to say it's like a $12 credit that you can use towards the show. So please do so if you are interested. If not, that's okay. These guys will end up coming to my show as well. I have a market in September that I think this would be perfect for. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. Let me know what your favorite one is, or let me know in the comments if there isn't a mythical creature that you saw in this book. What should she do next? Because I think Atomic Crochet needs a part 2. I don't know about you guys. I think she needs a part 2. What do you guys say? Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!